Hello everyone, this is Kat, and welcome back to Crossout. And today I'll be doing a first look and honest review on the polymorph pack and its associated vehicle Eater of Ravagers. And this is going to be a no bullshit review here. I don't want to benefit the company. I really want to give a information for you guys whether this pack will be worth buying. And when we go into the shop, of course, the only real pack I can compare is the Frostburn pack. That is €1 more expensive. This one comes out 38.99, while the Frostburn comes out 39.99. That difference is pretty much neglectable. And in return, you already see that the Frostburn did come with 100 more coins in comparison to the um, polymorph pack here. So it does need to be at least as valuable, if not more valuable, for like the items prices that are contained within the vehicle to be worth it in comparison to Frostburn pack. And as that, let's just go in and let's check out what new parts there are. So we got the 3 hydraulic lines and 2 hydraulic adapters here. We got the, of course, new paint refrigerator plating. We got a CK humpback with the CK demon, I think it's called. Inner demon. Pretty sure that's what it's called. Adapter on it. And then we've got R2739 adapter pulse rifle, 2 of those. And 1 ICK. So there are 5 new structure parts, 1 new decker, 2 new, pair of new weapons, and of course that CK and paint. I'm not quite sure what this is. Not a horn. Okay, it's just appearance, not horn. So it does not make any sounds. It's just the animated piece of appearance. And one thing I do have to point out is that you can just remove the CK from the customized vehicle. So I can just like grab this humpback, take it off, go to my inventory, and I can, when I just find it, I can remove the CK. And it'll be just fine, and I can just put it back on one of these. If I just grab the CK, actually, I need to go to for customization for that. I can go through there, apply the CK, and put it on my hauler or heavy lifting, respectively, versions of the humpback, and that's no problem. So you can actually sell the normal cabin and keep your upgraded one with the CK on it. So I'm just gonna put that back in. Doesn't really matter too much whether it is a holder or not. So I do have to, of course, grab the paint real quick. Should keep that on there. And this paint actually does seem like it's only like an overlay. Like it doesn't quite paint the parts, but it looks fit. But it does add the little detailing to them. Like the original paint parts color is still there. And just for double checking that, I'm just gonna put up a few really random pieces here for you guys to see. They all have very distinctive colors, and you guys can then do the comparison how they will look pre-paint and post-paint. So scrap that. Here you can see it really doesn't add anything to the paint, to the like parts. Only adds these little detailings to it. So outside of this paint is really nothing too interesting, because it is really just a visual effect, and in the heat of battle, I doubt you even notice this paint, because I think there's always just like a lot of shadowing going on. Like I very much doubt this one will be noticed. Like in comparison to really like bright paints like this, for example, you will notice that paint like the lemon smoke. And because that, I don't think the paint will be worth much, but we can actually check. Does not take storage space. 100. There are all the numbers in there. Not for fusion, but can you actually trade this one? Not sure. Can I check the market here real quick for you guys? This is a relic paint, yeah, refter plating. So it is already here, but it isn't even nearly as like valuable as things like the ice crystal paint. It's already started to drop metal. Those are the limited edition Frostburn pack paints, if I recall correctly. And like even just a lollipop, the bright pink paint, it's still worth more. Here you can already see some tons to the CK. That's how it affects by the painting. Glow paints like Will-O-Wisp are also still pretty valuable. And you can see, okay, some of the other paint, normal paints are definitely already still more valuable as this one is. The rest already dropped quite a bit. A lot of people seem to be selling it already. So I don't think you're going to be looking at a lot of it in terms of paint. So that's it. Let's get onto the actual parts here. So other than the two adapters, you also get your hands on a hot red Epic engine and a DT Cobra and a corresponding Genesis ammo factory. In comparison, so when you actually count all these up, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 epic parts. 4 of them are functional parts, 1 is Decker. So I'm not going to count the Decker, so there's 4 epic parts and a total of 8 rares. No, again, not counting Deckers. Compared to the Frostburn, which you gave the Icebreaker Deluxe Edition gave you 2, 3 epics, so 1 less, and 1, 2, 4, 8 rares, which is equal. In comparison, I'm not sure yet. We do have it actually here. 6, 7, 8 rares and 3 epics again. So both the Frostburn and the Frostburn Deluxe packs have lower like part value overall because you are missing out on one of the epics, and the amount of rares is the same. So you could theoretically, if you just go for the average price of an epic, just gonna take that away, and we're just gonna go to weapons here. Of course, these bars are all PC. I cannot speculate in any way towards things on the console. You can see that around, like a lot of the weapons that are not pack limited are around 300 coins, 400 coins, somewhere in between of those prices. Some of them are a bit below, some of them are a bit more below, but there are also a lot that are a lot higher as well. So I would say it balances around about 325, 350. So just taking that in consideration, these 4 epic, the pack has some more value than the Frostburn. But of course, it also really depends on the unique items, which are going to be the adapters and the eye appearance. I'm just going on just our value here. The eye has still has a lot of value, but it is already lower than the carnivore Decker item here. And I don't think it will be this high for too long. It will probably drop, even though it's animated, which makes it kind of unique in that regard. I don't think it will really keep its value up that high. Like, you do see a bunch of like 150, 200. I don't think the eye will maintain its value above 4, maybe 500 in like a month from now. So definitely like don't buy into these like 88 orders, 700 coins. Just wait a day or two and the price will generally be dropped by like 100. So that will really like be a lifesaver for a lot of people. So the adapter, it's already like a lot less valuable than the Capcan. Like people don't seem to be too interested by it by judging by the market, but they're still quite valuable, and there's 130 buying blueprints. So let's get into this weapon and see what it actually is all about. So it's a pulse rifle, energy drain 4. Increases weapon damage, the vehicle's durability decreases, maximum effect plus 10% and 1% durability. So you kind of want to use this on a vehicle that can keep the guns on for a long time while its own durability gets whittled down. But I'm not quite sure how much health you want to have. Because on one side, of course, you could try to get yourself nearly killed really quickly. In that case, you want to have a very low amount of health and then use the damage buff to come back. Or you want to use something as tanky as possible to be sure you survive as that low HP for as long as possible. So, but at the same time, I don't think you should try to on purposely fully like, get damaged. Because no matter how you look at it, they might just hit your guns and then you're going to be in trouble. So, the gun, I did try to use them, like, I've used them once in the test run real quick. You do a single click, it fires, and after a rerun burst, it immediately reloads, and you can actually shoot these quite quickly. They're similar to synthesis or etc., but not quite. But they do not seem to be affected by heat or reloading speed, and because of that, these weapons will be pretty good when coupled just by a cheetah engine, because the cheetah engine can focus on the module reloading, and you don't really have to worry about the weapon's efficiency, because it will not go up and down any further or less. So overall, the Weagle's design, of course, will not be very good. I'm just gonna take a quick peek here in the rear. And yeah, there's nothing really too amazing about this build. If you do decide to get this vehicle, like, you do get a whole bunch of Steppenwolf's part. Yeah, Steppenwolf's. But for the most people that already are playing, it's not really valuable because they probably already have set parts. So the other thing that's really interesting are the Ravager parts. So what I'm actually gonna do is double check whether any faction gives set structure parts. Because of course that's a really important thing. If you cannot obtain these structure parts, that would be a big problem. I'm not sure what faction I would expect these to be in. Honestly, I actually have no idea, and I'm actually surprised Scavengers doesn't have any parts in it. These are the famine parts. Okay, the Firestarter would be the only one that I would not be surprised to seeing them. But damn, these guys have a lot of different parts here. Omen, Phil. I don't see these in here. No, those are not there. So, by the looks of things, they're actually currently unobtainable. And that will make these the second pieces of armor that are fully unobtainable. The other ones, of course, being the, where they are, here, the hot rod parts. And while the hot rod parts aren't definitely something amazing, they are very unique, shape-wise. And of course, we have this hot rod grill 4x1 part that has a very unique overall like dimensions, and you can really make use of that in certain builds. So that's really the big bummer, like that these parts still have not been given out to like anyone to earn. And if the developers do notice this video, please give us these parts, because no matter what you look at, both these hot rod parts as the parts that are for the actual like vehicle that we're covering right now, it doesn't matter whether they're good or bad. They look unique. Players want to like make builds with them, and don't screw us over by just not giving it out unless you buy the pack. When I mean with the hardware parts it's even worse, because you cannot actually buy hardware pack anymore in the shop, so there's actually no way for you to obtain the armor parts, even if you wanted to buy it. So yeah, of course we do. Let's just grab these armor parts and just give them a quick look. Okay, so this is basically just one of the standard half-wall parts in similar shapes. So let's see how they compare. 12 durability, 11 power score. Okay, so it's a lot lighter than the other parts. It's compared to something like a Friar then. And even then, it's much thinner. But this one actually is an appearance part. This actually increases reputation gain. That explains why it's so low. This will not actually add up any health. And then my question immediately is, why is this why is this gun attached to only a part that has 12 health? Developers, please. If you like, I always tell people to, like, when they get one of these vehicles, don't just take it out. But with this one, it's even worse. The guns are just sitting right on top of the cabin, already being exposed, and one of them, they just decided to put one of them on this Alright then, that also explains why I couldn't find them in the storage. Like, I assumed them to be armor parts, but these are actually appearance parts. Huh. So there are actually no new armor parts here. That actually, like, does help, the thing that I couldn't find them. Still doesn't change the thing for the hardware parts, by the way, but already lost hope they would ever give those to us, so can't really do anything against that one. So of course, we do have to say with the CK here, it is animated, and so is this eye. And while animations are new, they're actually not like to the game because these are the only ones we players got to play with. They already have been in the game for quite a while, of course, with the storyline quest. There also has been things like the Jawbreaker, and I do have a feeling they will add a few of these CKs in over time. But at the same time, I don't really think there's much value in them. Like, the actual connection points all do remain the same, by the way, for the record. There's no change in any of the connection points with these CKs, even if they look kind of extreme. There's still the mounting bar that allows you to put anything on the top of this thing. So there's no problem there. Well, these things have all become just like looking better and not actually performing better in any old way. And with these ones even more, it's just still a humpback. And while the humpback is definitely not a bad cabin, of course, because of the amount of mass you can carry, it is nothing really amazing either. There's still plenty of better cabins out there. And yeah, that's it. We're just gonna go focus on these weapons a bit more. So, in comparison to damage, let's just take a look around some other 4 energy weapons. And the first one that actually comes to mind for me, of course, would be the Prometheus here. And bar-wise, the Prometheus does seem to do much less damage than the adapter. But another real way for us to test that is by actually discovering the 2 guns and put them into a test drive. So both are no cooldown, fast-firing weapons, and let's just say 32, 64, yeah, about 32. And this is a single burst is 90. Even though the adapter can fire about maybe 3 shots in the time that the Prometheus can shoot 2, Prometheus definitely deals a lot more damage. Well, at the same time, I'm pretty sure, yeah, the adapter is actually hit scan, so you don't have to lead the projectiles. That's one advantage. And that's 32 damage. Let's see if I can hit there. Okay, there is damage fall off, but I can actually, if I maybe hit more properly, I could maybe do some more damage. Can't quite see where the enemy's cabin is here, so it's a bit hard for me to actually tell where I have to shoot. Okay, at this point I'm still doing maximum damage. There we go. So this weapon can actually harass a lot of enemies pretty well then. Even though the Prometheus still outdamage it, it is less effective at range because of the projectiles. Because this gun actually still do 32 damage at that range. Wow. Can I get some good hits in? 28. I've hit a 28 there. Please go away. I want to shoot these things. Not getting too high damage numbers. But definitely, okay, there we go. 29. So we definitely got some good damage there. Let's see if we can still... Okay, this thing has a really long range then. Like, that's where the range, of course, is for the synthesis. So I'd say this is a more low damage range variant. So, hit scan, relatively low damage, but very consistent. This could be a very interesting weapon, actually, towards machine guns, I would maybe even dare to say. But, of course, machine guns haven't been in the meta in a really long time. So I doubt it will actually, like, shine very brightly in that regard. So let's just grab a Spectre here. And, of course, with the Spectre, you have to worry about the accuracy. So you have to burst fire. And there, that's what it needs for 21 damage, and there we go. This thing is already out damaging it. So at long range, it definitely outperforms pretty much any weapon. Like at this range, it's a pretty good weapon to do chip damage. And even at like the full damage bar here, let's get up to 10. Do about 6 damage or something per shot. Something like that. And this thing can even easily rack up a whole bunch of damage here at long range. So that actually does make it somewhat interesting. But I don't know how many. You would probably need 3 of these in order to get a somewhat decent fire rate out of, like decent damage output. And you would probably have to macro. And even though like officially macro stuff is not allowed, I mean, if they're literally just making a weapon where your timing determines your damage output, basically. Although you can basically just spam the button, for the record. That's one thing you can do. And by if you spam the button, you do get it just keep firing. But just for relaxation, you might just like use some sort of macro here. Okay, so definitely notice at short range you got destroyed by pretty much anything, even just these really weak robots. I managed to destroy one of this guy's guns. So yeah, at short range you're definitely outgunned, but at long range, like again, you're just sitting here and you're just racking up the damage. Like at this range, this damage feels really good. Well, right here, the damage feels much less impressive. Much less impressive. So yeah, this is a very long-range weapon, but I don't see it being meta. I really don't see it being meta, unless some people really get good with shooting off guns with it. Because, I mean, if you look at it, it's 125 health. Deals 32 damage per shot, so 2 of these are 64. And just 2 bursts of 2 of these guns can be 128 damage. So technically, at even though it's just these ridiculous ranges, if you're accurate enough, that can all be that's needed to just take off one of these guns. So like, gone. Oh, 4 shots, and then it would be gone. And it would definitely be a weapon that is good for stripping off armor and like space armor, etc. Being able to spam the buttons makes things a lot easier. And you can definitely just rack up the damage here. You can see 700 damage there. Those are some big numbers. Those are really, really big numbers. Still, I can't really say that you should be going for these weapons. That will be my final verdict for this one. Don't go for these weapons. Just like only if they really like seem interesting to you. I would suggest getting them, but if you're not specifically interested in the playstyle, then I don't see anything worth getting into here. Sad but true. Overall, the pack is nothing special. Like, if they just put out the CK on the store in the customization part and put it for like $5. Like these are really overpriced. These 5 because they aren't animated or anything. They're just 3D models. But like I actually think they would probably sell a lot more of these if they were $5 than if they were these. I don't really see D6 could be anywhere near this one. So yeah, that's my honest opinion on this one. And I don't even want to take this thing out for a battle. 5,000 power score for a machine that is this bad. But we're just gonna go into one match here. Kind of random client invite. I don't want that kind of stuff. I don't can even get out of those. Prometheus. Oh well. So while waiting for a match, we're just gonna give this thing a stroll to check out whether it actually stays upright, because it is a pretty high center of mass vehicle, and I just want to make sure that I don't fall over if I just make too tight of a turn. Okay, it slips a little bit, but you ramped into me, and you start a fight. Again, like if you start at this range, then you might be fine, but any closer and the enemy will eat you up. Really something to like watch out for. Okay, that's a bit of a fail. Okay, so they have a bunch of those. Good to know. Let's see how many if I can take out these. Don't think out. Yeah, there are the guns. They're gone. And I'm dead. Okay, that really just shows how it can outperform even by just a bunch of rares. This machine and its weapons don't fit anywhere at that higher battle rating. Power score. I haven't played this game in a long time. So yeah, that's it. There's really much more to talk about this one. If you guys want to make me see me make a vehicle using these guns, or make an art vehicle based on the Raptor parts, please comment down in the description. I will have to request the parts because I only received the 2 that were included in the pack, but no more than those. And I'm not really gonna be spending my money on the game that I very rarely get to play due to how busy I am with college nowadays. So yeah, that said, I hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you guys all on the next one. See ya.